Snakes may hide in the grass, but they always show themselves in time. Think about it. The people who smile to your face while quietly rooting for your failure. The habits that seem harmless but poison your potential. We all have snakes in our lives, whether they're toxic relationships, self-sabotaging behaviors, or limiting beliefs. The question is, have you noticed them? Who or what has been holding you back without you even realizing it? You see, the truth always rises to the surface, and when it does, you have a choice. Confront it and grow, or stay blind and stuck. Time is the ultimate revealer. It has a way of exposing everything, the good, the bad, and the things we refuse to see. Imagine life as a garden. At first, it's hard to tell what's growing. The weeds blend in with the flowers, and it all looks harmless. But give it time, and the truth becomes obvious. Some things were never meant to grow with you. Patience reveals what's real, hidden intentions, true colors, and the patterns we've ignored for too long. But here's the catch. Time alone isn't enough. You have to be paying attention. Are you seeing the signs? Or are you ignoring them because it's easier than facing the hard truth? It's easier to believe that certain people have your best interest at heart, that a toxic habit is just who you are, or that you're not capable of more. The signs are there, always have been. Time has already exposed the truth. The question is, will you confront it? Or will you stay in denial, pretending not to see what's right in front of you? Because ignoring the truth won't change it. But facing it, that's where your growth begins. Here's the truth. Snakes don't always look like snakes. Sometimes they show up as the people closest to us, the beliefs we've carried since childhood, or even our own destructive habits. If you want to move forward, you have to learn how to spot these patterns. First, let's talk about toxic people. Not everyone who claps for you is cheering for your success. Some people stay in your life only to drain your energy. They disguise their intentions with kind words, but their actions always reveal the truth. Maybe it's the friend who dismisses your dreams, or the family member who constantly tells you to be realistic. Toxic people plant seeds of doubt in your mind and watch them grow. If you're not careful, you'll water those doubts yourself. Next are limiting beliefs. These are the quiet whispers in your mind that convince you you're not enough. They sound like, "I'm not smart enough," "It's too late for me," or "People like me don't succeed." These beliefs feel like facts because they've been with you for so long. But here's the thing, they're not facts. They're stories you've told yourself. Stories you can change. Then there's the sneakiest snake of all, self-sabotaging habits. You know what they are. The procrastination, the excuses, the comfort zone you refuse to leave. We trick ourselves into thinking it's just harmless behavior. But every time you put off your goals, you're feeding the very thing that's holding you back. Not every opportunity is golden. Some are traps in disguise. It's easy to get caught up in the illusion that more is always better. More work, more relationships, more commitments. But sometimes those things are just distractions dressed up as opportunities. You have to be able to tell the difference. So, what patterns have you been ignoring? Is there someone in your life who always leaves you feeling drained? Are you holding on to a belief that keeps you stuck? Or maybe you've built routines that are secretly working against you. These snakes may be hard to spot at first, but once you see them for what they are, you can't unsee them. Every snake you ignore comes with a cost. It's not just your time or your energy, it's your peace, your potential, and your progress. The longer you keep these toxic elements in your life, the more they'll drain you. Think of your life as a cup. Every time you deal with toxic people, cling to limiting beliefs, or engage in self-sabotaging habits, you're pouring from that cup. You're giving away pieces of yourself to things that don't serve you. Eventually, your cup runs dry. You're exhausted, stuck, and wondering why you can't move forward. And here's the harsh reality. Ignoring the problem doesn't make it go away. It only grows bigger. Toxic people will take more from you until you have nothing left to give. Limiting beliefs will keep shrinking your world until it feels like a cage. Self-sabotage will rob you of opportunities before you even get a chance to try. Michael Jordan knows about rejection. He was cut from his high school basketball team. Most people would let that define them, but not him. He turned rejection into motivation. He didn't just accept failure, he used it as fuel. And that's the difference between those who succeed and those who don't. Some let their obstacles define them. Others decide to rise above. So, what will you turn yours into? Will you let the snakes control your life? Or will you finally take control? Because every moment you wait, they grow stronger. Every excuse you make gives them more power. It's time to wake up and see the cost for what it really is. When you let go of what's poisoning you, everything changes. Your energy returns. Your confidence grows. Your vision becomes clearer. You start living a life of intention, not reaction. And that's when the real progress begins. Now that you've spotted the patterns, it's time to do the hard work. This is where transformation happens. It's not always easy, but it's always worth it. The first step? Set boundaries. Stop giving unlimited access to people who drain you. Boundaries are not selfish, they're necessary. You can't grow in an environment that constantly pulls you down. Identify who or what is stealing your peace and draw the line. If they can't respect your boundaries, they don't belong in your life. Period. Next, rewrite your limiting beliefs. Every belief you hold is just a story. If the story isn't serving you, change it. Instead of saying, "I'm not enough," say, "I'm a work in progress and I'm getting better every day." Shift your language and you'll shift your reality. Words are powerful. They shape how you see the world and how the world sees you. Finally, let go of false obligations. Stop watering dead plants. You don't owe anyone an explanation for prioritizing your peace. Let go of relationships, habits, and commitments that no longer align with who you're becoming. It's okay to walk away. It's okay to outgrow people and situations. What's not okay is staying stuck when you know you're meant for more. This isn't about being harsh or cold. It's about choosing yourself. It's about stepping into the life you were meant to live, free from the weight of things that no longer serve you. You have everything you need to move forward. The question is, will you take the first step? Once you've cleared out the poison, the next step is rebuilding. This is where real transformation begins, not just removing the toxic, but replacing it with purpose. Think of your life as a garden. Your mind is fertile ground, and every thought, belief, and action is a seed. The question is, what seeds are you planting? If you plant seeds of doubt, fear, and negativity, don't be surprised when your life feels heavy and directionless. Those seeds will grow into weeds that choke your progress. But if you plant seeds of growth, confidence, and clarity, your life will flourish in ways you never imagined. Every choice you make is an opportunity to plant something new, something powerful. But rebuilding takes intention. It's not enough to say, "I want to change." You have to decide what you want your life to look like and plant accordingly. Ask yourself, what kind of life do I want to create? What kind of legacy do I want to leave? The answers to these questions are the blueprint for your new garden. Let's start with your mindset. This is the most important ground you'll cultivate. Every powerful change begins in the mind. If you believe you're stuck, you'll stay stuck. If you believe you're capable of more, you'll start taking steps toward that future. Your thoughts are the seeds that shape your reality. Choose them carefully. Instead of thinking, "I've failed too many times," start thinking, "Every failure taught me something valuable." Every time you shift your thinking, you plant a new seed of power. Now, let's talk about daily habits. These are the tools that nurture your garden. It's not about making massive changes overnight. It's about the small, consistent actions that add up over time. Want to grow confidence? Start by keeping promises to yourself. Want to build resilience? Challenge yourself every day, even in small ways. Just like a garden needs daily care, your growth requires daily effort. Your environment matters too. You can't plant seeds of growth and surround yourself with people who keep pouring negativity into your soil. Protect your space. Surround yourself with those who inspire you, challenge you, and support your vision. Your environment will either feed your growth or stunt it. There's no in between. It's time to plant the seeds of your next chapter. No more waiting for the right time. No more hesitating. Right now is the best time to begin. Take everything you've learned from your struggles, your setbacks, and your victories and use it to build something new. You've been through too much to settle for anything less than what you're capable of. Remember, growth takes time. Be patient with yourself. Seeds don't sprout overnight, and neither will your transformation. But if you stay consistent, if you keep planting and nurturing the right seeds, you will see the harvest. Every challenge you've faced, every hard lesson you've learned, has prepared you for this moment. Now it's your turn to rebuild, to create something stronger, something more aligned with who you're meant to be. So ask yourself, what seeds will you plant today? What future will you grow? The answer is in your hands. The time to start is now. This is the moment. This is where everything changes, if you let it. The snakes, the setbacks, the struggles, they all served a purpose. They weren't there to break you, they were there to teach you, sharpen you, and force you to see clearly. The people who betrayed you, they taught you the importance of boundaries. The failures that knocked you down, they taught you resilience. The doubts and fears you've carried for years, they pushed you to question what you're truly capable of. You're not a victim of your circumstances. You're a warrior shaped by them. Every experience, every lesson, every challenge has prepared you for this shift. And here's the truth. This shift will change everything if you commit to it. Think about where you were a year ago, 2 years ago. How many moments did you feel stuck, overwhelmed, and unsure if things would ever change? But here you are, still standing, still fighting. That's proof that there's more in you than you realize. The next chapter of your life demands a different version of you, the boldest, most fearless version. The shift begins with a decision. No one can make it for you. No one is coming to rescue you. There's no magic moment when everything suddenly aligns on its own. This is the moment to take ownership of your life, to stop waiting for permission and start stepping boldly into the life you're meant to live. But here's the secret. The shift isn't about perfection. It's not about having all the answers. It's about showing up every single day with the determination to move forward, no matter how small the steps. It's about refusing to be defined by your past and choosing to be shaped by it instead. This shift is about clarity, knowing what you want and refusing to settle for anything less. It's about making the hard decisions, the ones that challenge you, stretch you, and force you to grow. Sometimes it will mean letting go of things that once felt comfortable but are no longer serving you. It might mean walking away from relationships that drain your energy or opportunities that keep you playing small. It's time to stop asking for permission and start claiming what's yours. The life you've dreamed of is waiting for you, but it's not going to come to you. You have to meet it halfway. You have to show up with the energy and focus that matches the life you're trying to build. And here's the beautiful part. Once you make that shift, everything falls into place. The people, the opportunities, the clarity, they start appearing, not because they weren't there before, but because now you're aligned with them. You've cleared out the noise and distractions. You've made space for what truly matters. The shift will feel uncomfortable at first. Growth always does, but discomfort is where change happens. It's where transformation takes root. The question is, will you lean into it, or will you run from it? This is your time. The life you've been waiting for, it's been waiting for you too. Everything you've been through has led to this moment. Every lesson, every heartbreak, every challenge, it's all been building toward this transformation. So take a deep breath. This is your fresh start. Not tomorrow, not next week. Now. Plant the seeds. Do the work. Step boldly into who you're becoming. And remember, this shift will change everything. But only if you're ready to change with it. The snakes showed you what you don't want. The rebuilding gave you a foundation of strength and purpose. Now it's time to rise. It's time to claim the life that's been waiting for you. Step into it, live it fully, and never look back. Rejection feels personal, but it's not a dead end. It's a compass pointing you towards something better. Think about Oprah Winfrey. Early in her career, she was told she wasn't fit for television. Imagine if she had taken that rejection as a sign to quit, but she didn't. Instead, she let it redirect her toward opportunities that made her one of the most influential figures in media history. Every setback is a signal. Are you paying attention? Too often, we let rejection define us, believing it's the universe's way of saying no forever. But what if it's really saying, not here, not yet? There's something bigger waiting for you. Rejection isn't failure. It's the realignment you didn't know you needed. The key is not to resist it, but to lean into it, trusting that the closed door is guiding you to something greater. Setbacks aren't just random obstacles. They are wake-up calls in disguise. They shake you out of your comfort zone and realign you with your true path. When things fall apart, it's easy to feel like everything is over. But in reality, the door closing wasn't the end. It was your chance to find the right one. Think about it. How many times have you been disappointed, only to realize later that it was the best thing that could have happened? The job you didn't get, the relationship that ended, the opportunity that slipped through your fingers. Each one made space for something better. The universe has a way of redirecting us when we refuse to move on our own. Sometimes, the only way to push us toward our purpose is through discomfort. The question is, will you see the lesson hidden in the setback? Will you let it shape you or break you? So take a moment and reflect. What recent setback could be your greatest teacher? What challenge is quietly pushing you to grow, to change, to finally step into the life you're meant to live? Setbacks aren't punishment, they're preparation, and the sooner you embrace that, the faster you'll rise. Hardships are tough, but hidden inside them are unexpected blessings and powerful lessons. The pain you're going through, it's not pointless, it's a catalyst. It's pushing you toward transformation. Think of a snake shedding its skin. It's a painful process, but it's necessary for growth. That old skin no longer serves the snake. It's tight, restrictive, and holding it back. The same is true for you. The struggles you face aren't there to punish you, they're there to help you outgrow what no longer fits. The people, habits, or mindsets that have been holding you back. What if your hardest moments were the very things preparing you for something bigger? Your pain is the pressure that turns coal into diamonds. It's the storm that clears the path. Every hardship you endure brings you closer to your best self. Stronger, wiser, and more resilient than ever before. But here's the thing, you have to reframe it. Stop seeing hardships as obstacles and start seeing them as opportunities. The question isn't, why is this happening to me? It's, what is this teaching me? You're not breaking down, you're breaking through. You can't build a powerful life if you're surrounded by the wrong people. Some people drain your energy, distract you from your goals, and keep you stuck in the same cycle. You know the type, the ones who cross your boundaries again and again, expecting forgiveness without change. Stop making excuses for people who drain you. You deserve better. Building strength starts with setting boundaries and recognizing red flags early. Boundaries aren't walls, they're bridges that lead you to a healthier, more focused version of yourself. The moment you start protecting your peace, you reclaim your power. Ask yourself, what would change if you stopped tolerating what doesn't align with your future? What could you create, achieve, and become if you redirected all that wasted energy into your growth? Boundaries aren't just necessary, they're the foundation of your strength. Clarity without action is wasted potential. You can recognize every problem in your life, but if you don't act, nothing changes. Imagine standing in front of a snake. You see it clearly. You know it's a threat. But what good is awareness if you don't decide what to do next? You have two choices: confront it or keep ignoring it, hoping it won't bite. And ignoring it, that's a dangerous game. The longer you wait, the more power it gains. Clarity is only the first step. Action is where transformation begins. Think about the moments in your life when you knew what needed to change, yet fear or doubt kept you frozen. How much time did you waste waiting for the right moment? The truth is, the right moment is the moment you choose to act. Awareness is the beginning, but action is the breakthrough. So what will you do with your clarity? Will you let it collect dust, or will you turn it into fuel for change? It's time to stop waiting. Every great transformation starts with a single decision. And that decision, it's yours to make right now. You can't change what you refuse to confront. Stop running from the truth. Stop making excuses. It's time to face the hard facts, the ones you've been avoiding because they're uncomfortable. The truth won't destroy you, but hiding from it will. Like cleaning a wound, it will hurt at first. It stings, but that's how the healing starts. Maybe it's a relationship that's draining you. Maybe it's a dream you've outgrown. Or maybe it's a belief about yourself that's been holding you back for years. Whatever it is, you can't keep pretending it doesn't exist. Face it. Own it. change it. Brutal honesty is the beginning of every breakthrough. Pretending everything's fine only keeps you stuck in the same patterns. The truth is powerful, not because it's easy, but because it sets you free. Yes, it'll be hard at first, but nothing worth having comes easy. Growth demands discomfort. So, ask yourself, what truth do you need to face today? The one you've been dodging, rationalizing, and burying. This is your moment. Face it head on. Own every piece of it, because the second you do, everything changes. Face it, own it, change it. Say it again, face it, own it, change it. This is the formula that transforms lives, but only for those brave enough to use it. The truth is a mirror. Sometimes it's messy, but it's also a doorway to freedom. And the only way through it is to confront what's been holding you hostage. What truth are you afraid to admit to yourself? Maybe it's that you've settled for less than you deserve. Maybe it's that the dream you're chasing isn't yours but someone else's expectation. Or maybe it's that your comfort zone has become a prison. Whatever it is, the truth is calling you to wake up. Truth isn't your enemy, it's your guide. It reveals what's broken so you can start rebuilding. But confronting it takes courage. It's easier to stay distracted, to blame circumstances, to wait for the perfect moment. But the longer you avoid it, the more it controls you. Think about the moments in your life when you finally faced the truth. Remember how heavy it felt at first? But then something shifted. Clarity flooded in, the weight lifted. That's the power of truth. It frees you, but only if you're brave enough to confront it. So, are you ready to be honest with yourself? What's one truth you've been running from? Write it down, say it out loud, name it, because once you do, it loses its grip on you. The truth may not change your circumstances overnight, but it will change your perspective, and that's where real transformation begins. Confront it today, face it, own it, change it. This is the shift that will set you free. Holding on to what's breaking you won't protect you, it will destroy you. Toxic people, limiting beliefs, and destructive habits act like anchors, keeping you stuck when you were meant to rise. Yet, we cling to these things because they feel familiar. Letting go feels like losing control, but in reality, it's the only way to take your life back. Think about Thomas Edison. He failed over 1,000 times before inventing the light bulb. Imagine if he had let failure define him. What if he had clung to the belief that he just wasn't good enough, or that it wasn't meant to be? Instead, he released every limiting thought, learned from every mistake, and pressed on until he succeeded. His persistence wasn't blind, it was built on letting go of what didn't work. The same applies to your life. Maybe it's a friendship that drains your energy. Maybe it's a belief that tells you success isn't for you. Or maybe it's a habit that keeps pulling you back every time you try to move forward. Why are you holding on to something that no longer serves you? Releasing these things isn't easy. It will challenge everything you've built your identity around. But the truth is, you can't step into the future you're meant to have while holding on to the things that belong in your past. You'll never soar if you keep clinging to what's weighing you down. So ask yourself, what's breaking you? What's draining your energy, your peace, and your progress? The answer might scare you. It might mean facing difficult decisions. But if you want to grow, you have to let go. The power isn't in holding on, it's in knowing when to release what's keeping you from your next chapter. Letting go is an art. It's not a single act. It's a process, a conscious decision to release what no longer aligns with your growth. It's the doorway to freedom, but many never walk through it because they're too afraid to leave behind what's familiar. Here's the truth. You can't fly if you're chained to the past. Letting go doesn't mean you're weak. It doesn't mean you've failed. It means you're ready to create space for something better. Every time you let go, you create space for something new. Start by setting boundaries. Decide what you will no longer tolerate. Toxic relationships? Gone. Self-doubt? No more room for it. Destructive habits? It's time to replace them with actions that build you up. Rewrite the beliefs that hold you back. If your mind is fertile ground, then limiting beliefs are weeds. Pull them out. Replace them with empowering truths. Instead of saying, "I'll never succeed," tell yourself, "I am capable of figuring it out." And remember, letting go isn't always immediate. It's a process that requires consistency and self-compassion. You might have to release the same thing over and over until it sticks. But every time you do, you'll feel lighter, freer, and closer to the life you were meant to live. So ask yourself, what do you need to release today? What's been holding you back for far too long? Decide right now that it's time to let it go. Step into the space you've created. You'll be amazed at how quickly life fills it with something better. After every fall, there's a choice: stay down or rise stronger. Releasing what no longer serves you clears the path for something new, a stronger, more powerful version of you. The process isn't easy, but it's worth it. Every time you rise after a fall, you remind the world, and yourself, of your strength. Think about everything you've survived so far. Every setback, every heartbreak, every challenge that tried to break you. It didn't. You're still here. You're still standing. And that means you have everything you need to rebuild. Now, it's time to take bold, decisive action. Rebuilding means laying a new foundation, brick by brick, built on clarity, truth, and purpose. Let go of fear and hesitation. This is not the time to play small or second-guess yourself. This is your moment to rise. The ashes of your past don't define you, they fuel you. Use every lesson, every scar, and every experience as the raw material for your comeback. Stand tall, speak your truth, and start building the life you were meant to live. The world is waiting to see what you'll create next. Are you ready to rise? You are not a victim, you are a creator. The moment you embrace this truth, everything changes. No more blaming circumstances. No more waiting for someone to save you. You hold the power to shape your life, one decision at a time. You've already done the hardest part. You've faced the truth, let go of what was breaking you, and rebuilt your foundation. Now it's time to step fully into your power. Dream boldly, act decisively, be relentless in your pursuit of the life you deserve. Every step forward is a declaration: I am in control. Remember, you're not starting from scratch. You're starting from experience. You're wiser, stronger, and more determined than ever before. Use that power to create a life that reflects your deepest purpose and desires. The snakes are gone. Now, it's time to build something unshakable. The life you've always wanted is waiting. Will you claim it? Resilience isn't a gift. It's a skill you build through every challenge. It's forged in moments when everything feels like it's falling apart, and yet somehow you keep going. Every setback, every failure, every rejection, it's all shaping you into something stronger. Look at J.K. Rowling. She was rejected by 12 publishers before Harry Potter became a global phenomenon. Imagine if she had given up after the first no. We wouldn't have the story that inspired millions. Her success wasn't built on luck, it was built on resilience. You are like a diamond. Every bit of pressure only makes you stronger. The hard times aren't meant to break you, they're here to shape you. Each challenge is an opportunity to grow, to become more of who you were always meant to be. So, the next time life tries to knock you down, remember this: resilience is your superpower. It's already inside you, waiting to be strengthened with every step forward. Keep rising. Setbacks aren't stop signs, they're fuel for growth. Every challenge you face holds the potential to push you forward if you're willing to see it that way. Think about the hardest thing you've ever been through. Maybe it knocked the wind out of you or left you doubting yourself. But look closer. Didn't it also make you more resilient, more resourceful, more determined? Every challenge contains a hidden lesson, a chance to become stronger than before. The most successful people aren't the ones who never faced obstacles. They're the ones who use those obstacles to fuel their growth. Resilience is the bridge between failure and success. It's what turns every setback into a comeback. What challenge are you facing right now that could become your greatest strength? Don't run from it, lean in. Let it refine you, not define you. When was the last time you truly listened to yourself? Not the doubts, not the noise around you, but that quiet inner voice, the one that always knows the way forward. That's your intuition, your inner compass. The more you trust it, the stronger it becomes. Trusting yourself means listening to that voice before it turns into a scream. It's about recognizing that you already have the answers you need. Your intuition doesn't shout, it whispers. But if you ignore it long enough, it will eventually demand your attention in the form of frustration, misalignment, or burnout. Developing self-trust starts with small steps. Pay attention to your instincts. Trust the decisions that feel aligned with your truth. Every time you listen to that voice, you strengthen your connection with it. Your intuition knows the way. Trust it. Because when you trust yourself, you unlock a level of confidence and clarity that nothing can shake. Your foundation, your values, are everything. Without them, even the tallest building will collapse. Integrity is your compass, guiding you to the life you were meant to live. It's not always easy to stay true to yourself, especially when the world tries to pull you in different directions. But here's the truth. If you compromise your values, you compromise your future. Living authentically isn't just about being honest with others. It's about being honest with yourself. It's about aligning your actions with what you truly believe in. When you do, you stop chasing and start attracting the right people, the right opportunities. They find you when you're living in your truth. Think of integrity as a magnet for greatness. The more aligned you are with your core values, the more your life begins to flow. Stay true, stay strong, stay unstoppable, because the easiest way to lose your power is to betray yourself. But when you stand firm in who you are, you become unshakable. Your purpose is tied to your integrity. Live with intention, act with purpose, and trust that every step you take in alignment with your values is leading you closer to the life you've always dreamed of. Your life is a reflection of your choices. If you want to change your life, you have to start by changing your mindset. The truth is, most people aren't stuck because they lack talent or opportunities. They're stuck because their thinking is out of alignment with their future. You can't create a new life with the same old mindset. To step into your next level, you must start thinking and acting like the person you're becoming, not the person you've been. This means letting go of thoughts that limit you and replacing them with ones that expand your possibilities. Visualize the life you want to create. Imagine it in detail. How does it feel? What do your days look like? Now ask yourself, what choices do I need to make today to become that person tomorrow? Alignment is power. When your thoughts, beliefs, and actions are all moving in the same direction, life begins to shift. The opportunities, connections, and resources you need will appear, but only after your mindset matches your vision. Now that you've built resilience, trust, and purpose, it's time for the final step. Taking bold, decisive action. You are not stuck. You've just forgotten who you are. There was a time when you knew your strength, when challenges didn't intimidate you and setbacks didn't define you. Life tried to convince you otherwise. It threw obstacles, doubts, and distractions in your path. And somewhere along the way you believed the lies. You believed you were powerless. But that stops now. You are stronger than you realize. Every hardship you've faced has prepared you for this moment. Every scar is proof of your resilience. But to reclaim your power, you have to cut ties with anything that drains it. Toxic people who keep you stuck. Limiting beliefs that whisper you're not enough. Habits that hold you back from the life you know you deserve. The question is not whether you're capable. The question is what you're willing to leave behind. The weight you carry isn't yours anymore. Let it go. Let go of the stories that don't belong to you. The expectations that aren't yours to meet, the fear that no longer serves you. This is your time to rise. Take back your power. Remember who you are, because once you do, nothing can stop you. The future is waiting, but it begins with a choice. What will you leave behind to become the person you were meant to be? Letting go isn't weakness, it's strength in its purest form. It takes courage to release what's familiar, even when it's holding you back. Fear wants you to cling to the old because it's comfortable, even when you know deep down it's not right for you. But real freedom, the kind that transforms your life, only comes when you release what no longer serves you. Let go of the job that drains your soul. Let go of the relationship that keeps you small. Let go of the belief that life has to be a struggle. This is your moment to break free. Imagine what your life would look like if you refused to settle. What if you demanded more? From yourself, from your relationships, from life itself? How would it feel to wake up every day knowing you're walking boldly toward your purpose? It won't be easy. The past will try to pull you back. Doubt will whisper in your ear. But you are stronger than those voices. Every step forward is a declaration. I deserve more. I choose more. I will have more. The only thing standing between you and the life you're meant to live is the courage to let go. So take a deep breath, release what's holding you, and move forward. Your best life is waiting. Massive change doesn't happen overnight. It happens one small step at a time. Every day is an opportunity to take one step closer to the life you want. Think of your life as a book. Every decision is a new page. Every choice is a new chapter. What story will you write? Big goals can be overwhelming, but the power lies in breaking them down. Set small, achievable targets and commit to them. Want to change your health? Start with drinking more water. Want to build a new career? Spend 15 minutes each day learning something new. These tiny steps may seem insignificant, but they create unstoppable momentum. Consistency is your secret weapon. It's not about perfection, it's about progress. Every small action is a seed planted. Keep nurturing it, and one day you'll look back and realize you've built something incredible. When Thomas Edison was asked about his failures, he said, "I have not failed. I've just found 1,0,0,0,0 ways that won't work." Every setback is a lesson. Every effort is a step forward. Remember, every small action you take is proof that you are capable of change. The key is to start. Not tomorrow, not next week, start today. Because with every small step, you're rewriting your story. One page, one chapter, one decision at a time. This is it. Your moment of truth. You've seen the patterns. You've faced the hard truths. You've felt the call for something greater. Now, there's only one thing left. Action. See the truth. Face the truth. Transform your life. This is where the real magic happens. Not in dreaming or planning, but in taking bold steps. Because without action, everything stays the same. So here's the challenge. Take one bold step today. Just one. Send that email. Make that decision. Say goodbye to what's holding you back. Every transformation begins with a single moment of courage. This is yours. You've got everything you need inside you. The strength, the resilience, the courage. The world is waiting, but more importantly, your future is waiting. This is your time. Change your story, starting now.